Beware the day of the Lord. Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And this is going to be a response video to a video that was done by Apostle Rakha, and he made a lot of beautiful and valid points in this video, and a lot of our people, they're expecting, and when I say a lot of our people, I'm talking about the broad gate. For wide is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many that be that go in thereat. I'm talking about the vast majority of our people who follow these false Israelite groups, who follow these Christians, who follow these Methodist churches, these Catholic churches, these Our Lady of Peace churches, these Trinity churches, these City Hall churches, these Sunday churches, these Eastern churches, these Jehovah Witness churches, these Mormon churches. Our people, they are following these false Israelite groups, not knowing that following these false churches, these false Israelite groups, is making them anti-messiahs or anti-Christs, as the scriptures would call them. A lot of our people, they expect that when Yahweh Shai returns, it's going to be all a happy day. When Jesus walked, a lot of them, they're expecting a blue eye, blonde hair cracker, when he returns. Our people's expecting a pale skinned looking man with blonde hair and blue eyes, with naked babies with harps in their hands. So our people, they have this misunderstanding of what the day of the Lord is going to be like. And when we read books like Amos, the 5th chapter, it gives you a good idea of what the day of the Lord is going to be like. And a matter of fact, if we come over here to the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 1, it says this. It says, "Blow ye the trumpet in Zion." And that's exactly what the Lord's prophets are doing. When a trumpet is blown, that means that a serious message is going out to the people. More commonly, when a trumpet was blown back in the ancient world to a serious watchman who was serious about his duty of protecting the civilians, when he blew the trumpet, he gave off a particular sound on the trumpet that would alarm the people that impending danger was coming their way. So our people who took heed to the sound of that trumpet, for our people who took heed to the sound of that trumpet, they retreated to their homes. They would retreat to their homes. They would stay inside the homes with their family, their children. While the warriors back in the ancient world, they would gear up for war to get ready to fight against the invading army. Now when you read scriptures, it tells you that everything that was written aforetime was written for our learning. And one of the main reasons why the Lord would bring up an army from another nation against us was because of our transgressions. And that's why when you read books like Isaiah 58 verse 1, it tells you, cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show what? Our people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins. So we're supposed to show our people their transgressions and the house of Jacob their sins. You see? So it says, blow ye the trumpet of Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. It says, let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. So Joel 2:1 indicates that when the Lord returns, it's going to be a terrible day. This is not going to be a day of light and happiness for the vast majority of the people of the world. It's going to be a day of happiness and joy for the Lord's elect, because they're finally going to be liberated from the filth and the scum and the gunk and the cum, the spit, the filth and bacteria of this wicked kingdom, because spiritually that's exactly what this wicked kingdom is made up of. So as being a member of the elect, we know that the elect is hoping to get the hell up out of this place. So when Yahushua returns, like the scriptures say, Yahushua's return is going to be to the joy of his elect. But to the wicked, the 2/3 of our people, the heathens, and the biblical Edomites, starting with the so-called elites, trickling down to the rest of their nation, the people, it's going to be a day of terror and trouble, a day of distress. It's going to be a day of panicking and hollering and screaming and terror. So it says, and then it goes on to say about the day of the Lord. The day of the Lord is a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness. Okay? As the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong. There have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. So the times that is coming upon this planet, especially when Yahushua returns, it's going to be unlike anything that has ever happened on this planet before. So the day of the Lord is described as being terrifying, scary. So if you're a Hebrew Israelite, which will be a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native Indian, if you're not right with the Lord, when the Lord returns, you're going to get caught up in a judgment that the Lord is going to bring upon this planet. For by his sword and by fire shall the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many, like it tells you in Isaiah chapter 66 verse 15. Okay, Yahushua is not coming back to shake your hand. He's not coming back to negotiate with you. He's not coming back to talk with you, because right now the Lord is doing the talking. He's doing the talking through the mouth of his holy prophets. Let's get that in the book of Luke, because sometimes you got to prove everything to these niggas. No, man. See, now I know you're a false prophet, man. Where in the Bible does it beating on his chest like a retard? Where in the Bible does it say that God speaks by the mouth of his holy prophets? Well, let's go to Luke chapter 1 verse 70. You know what? Hold on. Starting directly on Luke 1 and 70 is too much for a nigga. Let's go up to Luke chapter 1 verse 69. Well, wait a minute. Let me see. Let's start at verse 68. Luke chapter 1, verse 68. The word in the Bible doesn't say that God speaks by the mouth of his holy prophets. Well, Luke chapter 1, verse 68. Blessed be the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, the power of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people, and have raised up an horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David. Okay, so now you know who it's talking about. That's why I read Luke chapter 1, verse 68, so you can know who it is talking about, who the scripture is talking about when it says he. So now you know that it's talking about the Lord here. Luke chapter 1, verse 70. As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, and still is. Okay, because when you read books like Malachi 3 and 6, you'll learn that the Lord don't change. Malachi 3 and 6. For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore ye sons of Jacob is not consumed. So the sons of Jacob is not consumed. Okay? The Lord don't change. He spake by the mouth of his ancient prophets, and he's speaking through the mouth of his prophets today. The Lord is not going to come down here and speak to you directly. Okay? So it says, which have been since the world began. So the talking is being done now. So this time when the Lord come back, he's going to be talking with fire and with his sword. Okay? Which is going to be through the action of killing. Why? Well, let's go to the book of Isaiah. Right? Isaiah chapter 65. And let's start up. Okay, because Isaiah 65 verse 11 on down is pertaining to the Israelites that have forsaken the Lord. So here's the punishment for the refusal of repenting from your iniquities and coming back to the Lord. Isaiah 65 verse 11. But ye are they that forsake the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, that forget my holy mountain, that prepare a table for that troop, and that furnish the drink offering unto that number. You see? Verse 12. Therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. And the slaughter is a representation of these catastrophic prophecies that are going to happen on the earth in the near future, such as martial law, the famine. That prophecy is already happening. That famine is in effect. There's a food shortage happening right now, even as I speak. More food corporations are being destroyed. More farmers are being put out of business. More farmlands are being bought up. More farmers are being paid to kill off their chickens, their turkeys, their cows, their cattle, etc., etc. You know, and these different countries, because there's a shortage of fertilizer, farmers are having problems with growing out their crops quickly in order to have them sent to the markets to be sold. So famine is already happening. Disease warfare. We already got the monkey PO acts. Okay, the C to the HIP is being pushed heavily in the news. Okay, the guillotines are being set up in these different FEMA camps and these concentration camps. Okay, torture devices are being set up on the torture tables. The red list is being established for those who are in the know, for those who don't know what's going on. All that, man. Okay? Civil war, DARPA robots that are being programmed to shoot anything darker than a paper bag. newly created beasts are being perfected in these secret underground labs. You know, cannibalism, monsters, apparitions, the plagues of ancient Egypt. The Lord is bringing all of that to America. Because when I called, ye did not answer. When I spake, ye did not hear, but did evil before mine eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. And the Lord has no delight in wickedness. That's why he's bringing this chaos. Okay, so you chose that wherein the Lord delighted not, which is what? The ways of wickedness. Sin, which is what? Transgression of the law. So the point has pretty much been made. With that, I'm going to say shalom. Is on to the next one.